Hey guys, welcome back to Earth to Us Yoga. I've got a really good slow flow yoga planned for today. This is a yoga practice based around stress, just eliminating stress, being able to relax and just enjoy movement. This is a great practice to do before bed or for when you wake up first thing in the morning, or even if you've just had a stressful day and you just need to breathe. So we're going to start sitting in this easy pose. We're going to lift up those glute muscles so we get really good and grounded through the seat. We want a straight line from the tailbone all the way up the spine, out the top of the head. So just imagine that string pulling you upwards. Lifting those shoulders up, dropping them back, having that good straight spine. We're going to take those palms up to the knees, and we're just going to close our eyes for just a moment here. We're going to focus on that breath. We're going to breathe in and out of the nose through this whole practice today. So those inhales and those exhales are going to be deep and they're going to be long. We're just centering that breath here. We're just focusing inward here, never emptying our mind, but just being aware of our thoughts, being very intentional what we allow in and what we release. And we just deepen that breath. You may already feel your body begin to relax. Your mind begins to quiet down as it pushes the world away. We're just slowing down here for this moment as we push away any busyness, any worry. We let go of the to-do lists. We just find that deep and meaningful breath. We allow our minds and our bodies to find that peace and to find that stillness. With every inhale, we feel the rise of our chest, and with every exhale, we feel that lowering of the chest. We start to notice the rhythm of the breath. As those breaths get deeper and deeper through this whole practice. We're going to bring that awareness back to the body as we open up those eyes. Now we're going to take that right hand down to the mat. We're going to inhale as that left arm sweeps up and over. Opening up through that left rib here. And then we're going to drop that left hand down to the mat as that right arm sweeps up and over. Continuing to move with that breath. Now we're going to drop that right hand down again. Now you can take that right hand down and you can even drop on down to that forearm here. Making sure those hips stay planted on the mat. Now taking that left hand or that left forearm down. Just finding that sway. Now taking that right hand back down again. We're going to start those cats and those cows. So we're going to take the hands, palms down to the knees. We're going to inhale as we open up through the chest, sticking that navel out. And then exhale as we draw that navel in, collapsing back. Inhale as we open. And exhale as we close. Inhale as we open through the chest, gazing upwards. Exhale as we collapse back, rounding through the spine. Inhale as we open. And exhale as we close. One more time, we inhale as we lift up, we gaze upwards. And exhale as we round that back, drawing the navel tightly into the spine. Now we find that neutral spine here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to lift up those glutes, setting them back just a little bit, bringing those feet into butterfly here. So reaching down for those toes, opening up through those inner thighs. You can even take those elbows down to those knees if you want to open up just a little bit more, but being very gentle with our bodies here. Very gentle with these movements. Always feeling a stretch, never feeling a strain within those muscles. Keeping that steady breath. Even when we hold poses, we never hold our breath. Just opening up through those legs here. And then releasing this butterfly, we're going to take this right leg out to the side, bringing this left leg in. So just tucking that left foot in, we're going to find that beach ball here. So we're going to take that right arm down as the back of the hand rests on the mat. We're going to inhale as that left arm sweeps up, and then we find that beach ball. So like we're holding a ball here. Some of our balls may be small, some are larger, whatever feels good. You should feel this along the left side of the rib here, opening up through those ribs and into this right inner thigh. So just taking a few breaths here. Stretching in the whole body. Now releasing that arm down, lifting up very gently. Now we're going to take this right leg in as that left leg goes out to the side, tucking that right foot in. We find that beach ball again. So we drop that left hand down, that right arm sweeps up and over. Feeling this into that right rib here and into that left inner thigh. Finding that breath, steadying the breath. We're going to release that arm down, then lift back upwards, bringing that left leg in now. We're going to come onto our hands and our knees. So we're going to stack those knees under the hips. We're going to bring those hands under the shoulders here. We're going to take the tops of the feet onto the mat, finding that good neutral spine. So you want to stack those hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. We're going to inhale as that tailbone shoots up to the sky, the navel drops to the mat. We press upwards into cow. And then exhale as those hips tuck under, navel comes to spine. We drop into that cat. So just move here at your own pace. You have found that rhythm pressing in between that cat and cow. So just find your own rhythm of your breath here. Move whatever feels good for your body. There's no wrong or right way to do these poses. Just find that flow between that cat and that cow, engaging that abdominal wall, loosening that lower back, moving those hips, massaging those internal organs. As you just roll the body back and forth between that cat and cow. Now as we come back to that neutral spine, we're going to open up those knees wide. We're going to kiss those big toes together. We're going to set that seat back onto those heels. And we're going to walk those hands out long as we drop the chest into that child's pose. So finding that child's pose here, we release the head down. We find that deep breath here as we breathe in and out of the nose, stretching through the inner thighs. Now taking just a few breaths here in this child's pose, we find our home here in this child's pose. We slow it down, we regain our breath here. So just deepening that breath. Before we move forward into some more gentle stretches. No big movements in this practice today, just gently stretching the body. We're going to take those hands, we're going to walk them over to the right. So just shifting that weight over to the right, we open up through that left rib again, pressing away from that left knee. And then we're going to walk those hands over to the left side, opening up through that right rib here. Now we're going to bring those hands back forward, drawing those biceps into the ears one more time as we sink down into that child's pose. And then rising back up onto those hands and those knees. We're going to bring those hands back under the shoulders, the knees back under the hips. Getting that straight spine here. We're going to inhale as that tailbone shoots up to the sky, the navel drops to the mat. We come back into that cow pose. And then exhale as we roll the hips under navel to spine. We drop the head into cat. Inhaling into cow. And exhaling into cat. Now coming back to that neutral spine, we're going to open up those knees. Once again, we're going to sit that seat back. We're going to walk those hands out. We find that child's pose. Dropping the head down to the mat. Now we're going to take that right hand, leaving it extended long. We're going to take that left palm. We're going to go palm up underneath that right arm, pressing that elbow and that shoulder into the mat, then releasing the back of the hand. We're just going to thread that needle through here. So just opening up through the shoulders. Continuing that steady breath, just resting on that left arm. Finding that gentle twist here. We continue that breath. That breath is deep. Now we're going to release that left arm back to the mat. We're going to take that right hand, palm up as we thread it underneath that left arm, down onto the elbow, then the shoulder, releasing the back of the hand on the mat. Just finding that breath here. Finding that gentle twist. And then releasing that right arm back to the mat. Now we inhale as we rise back up onto those hands and those knees. So bringing the hands back under the shoulders, those knees come back underneath those hips. Now we're going to work on a little bit of balance here. If you need a balancing tool, you can place something out in front of you, even some pillows stacked up if you have a yoga block, whatever's close by. But we're just going to take those hands back under the shoulders. We're going to lift that left leg with a pointed toe and we're going to extend it out behind us. So that left foot is pointed. We find that balance here. We engage the glute muscles, engage the abdominal wall, engage the muscles along the sides of the spine. Now we're going to take that right hand. We're going to point those fingers as we send all the energy out of that hand and that foot. Now if you need to, you can drop that hand down to whatever is there in front of you to help stabilize that balance. The only way to gain that balance though is to test it often. So even if you're just lifting that hand, testing that balance, or maybe you can come fully into this bird dog here as you extend both that leg and that arm. We find that steady breath here. We stretch through the whole body. Now we're going to release that hand down to the mat. And then that leg comes back in. Now we're going to take that right leg back with a pointed toe. We find that stability. Then we lift that left hand as it extends out long. Or we place that left hand on whatever is in front of us to help us gain that balance. Whatever feels good here for you, always staying within your range of motion. But we just lengthen the body here, sending out all the energy through that finger and toe. Now we release that hand back to the mat, and we're going to draw that right knee back in. Now we're going to move those pillows back off to the side, or whatever you had in front of you to help you gain that balance. We bring the hands back under the shoulders. Now we're going to take that right leg, however it finds its way there is fine, but bringing that right foot up to that right pinky finger here. Now we're going to walk those hands forward, making sure that that knee does not come over that toe, keeping those hands on the inner part of that foot. We're going to come into that low runner's lunge here. So just walking those hands forward. Feeling that stretch deep into that hamstring and the top of that thigh. We slow down that breath. We slow down that movement. Just holding that stretch, Stretching deep into those legs. We continue the rhythm with that breath, never holding our breath. And then we release those hands as they walk back up, bending those knees. Then we're going to bring that right leg back to meet that left. Now that left foot is going to find its way up to that left pinky finger. And then we're going to walk those hands out long, making sure that left knee does not come over those toes, coming into that low lunge on that opposite side here. Finding that deep stretch, feeling it into that hip flexor as it moves into that groin muscle. If you can't go deep, that is no problem, just lifting those hips just a little bit to take some of the pressure off the legs. But just finding that gentle stretch here. Opening up through those legs. And then we release that stretch as we walk those hands back. And release that left leg back to meet that right leg. Now we're going to open up those knees once again. We're going to sink that seat back. We're going to find that child's pose. So we're going to walk those hands out long once again. Dropping the head down to the mat. Centering that breath, calming the mind, releasing the stretch in those legs. Deepening that inhale and that exhale. Breathing in and out of the nose. Now on that next inhale, we're going to come back up onto those hands and knees, and we're going to move back into that seated position now. So coming back into that easy pose, crossing those legs here. We're going to lift up those glute muscles, getting back good and grounded through that tailbone here. Making sure those hips are not tucked under. We're going to take those hands down to those knees. We're going to roll that head halfway to the right. And then halfway to the left. Halfway to the right. And then halfway to the left. One big circle all the way around to the right. And then one big circle all the way around to the left. Bringing that head back upright. We're going to take that right palm over to the left side of our head. We're going to gently bring that right ear down to that right shoulder. Just finding that breath here. Maybe you even close those eyes as we press that left shoulder down and away. Stretching through the left side of the neck. Finding that breath here. Then we release that right hand. Taking it back down to the knee, we're going to take that left hand over to the right side of the head, drawing that left ear down to that left shoulder. Maybe we close those eyes again. Find that breath. This slow and gentle practice. The body should feel awake. You should feel at peace. Releasing that side of the head. Now we're going to take those legs, we're going to extend them straight out in front of us. We're going to take that right leg first. We're just going to bend it over the top of that left leg, bringing the foot to the knee. Now we're going to take that left hand to the outer part of that right leg. You can even use that elbow to come to that knee. We're going to take that right hand behind the spine, and we're just going to open up through the chest here as we find that gentle twist. So whether that hand is down by your leg or whether that elbow is at your knee, whatever feels good here for you, but just finding a gentle twist here. That spine is straight. That hand behind us keeps us from collapsing backwards. So having that good posture here. Stretching through that right leg. Now we release that hand and we come out of that twist. Now we're going to extend this right leg long. We're going to bend that left leg at that knee. We're going to take that right hand over to that left leg. The left hand goes behind the spine. We open up through that chest here. Now that hand is behind us to keep us from collapsing backwards and bending that spine. But we just find that good twist here, that gentle, easy twist. Taking that elbow to the knee if that serves you. And then we just release that arm and we come back forward. Now we're going to bring those legs back into that butterfly here. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to reach down for those toes. We're going to open up through those hips. Maybe we take the elbows back to the knees. Releasing any tension that may have been held in the body. We're just releasing all stress here. Just some gentle and easy stretches. Working our way down to the mat here, fixing to come into that reclining position. Releasing that butterfly. Now we're going to go ahead and melt onto our backs now. So we're going to extend those legs. We're going to bring that back all the way down, resting the head on the mat here. We're going to take those legs, bringing them back in. We're going to take that left ankle atop that right knee. We're going to reach behind that right hamstring as we draw those knees in. We're going to make sure that left foot is flexed. We're going to feel that into this outer seat down here, into this glute muscle, into that piriformis muscle and that sciatic nerve. We're going to release all of those things here as we breathe in and out of the nose. Just breathing deep in this reclining pigeon. Maybe we close those eyes. Maybe we start to slow things back down. We turn the world away. We let go of the busyness. We let go of the to-do list. And we just find that deep breath here. Breathing in and out of the nose. Releasing that outer seat. Just finding that breath, connecting with that breath. Now we're going to release that right foot down to the mat. We're going to uncross those legs. We're going to take that right ankle atop that left knee now, reaching behind that left hamstring, drawing that leg in. We flex that right foot. We feel that move into that right outer seat now. We release the tightness of that muscle. We release any tension that may be held in the hips or the lower back. And we just slow down that breath. Slowing down the body, slowing down the movements. We build up so much tension and so much stress in our bodies during the day. This is our opportunity to release all of that. Take advantage of this time to just slow down. Now we're going to release that left leg down to the mat. We're going to uncross those legs. Now we're going to draw those knees tightly into the chest here, rolling up into that tiny little ball. Maybe you start to find a rock here as we rock from right to left, swaying from side to side. Just massaging that lower back on the mat. Finding that gentle movement. Maybe stillness serves you here, whatever serves you. Whatever feels good for your body. But we just find that gentle movement. Moving with the rhythm of the breath. Now finding that stillness, bringing those legs back in, we're going to take both of those hands over to that left knee. We're going to extend that right leg long. We're just going to let it hover above the mat here. That toe is pointed, all the energy moving out of that toe. Just that deep breath continues, that relaxing and calming breath. Right leg is extended long as we draw that left Now we're going to flex that right foot. We're going to send that heel straight up towards the ceiling now. If you need to take that right hand behind that right leg, feel free to do so. Or you can keep both of those hands on that left knee, whatever feels good for you, whatever serves your body. But that foot is flexed and that heel presses up high towards the ceiling. Stretching into that seat once again and into that hamstring, the back of the knee, even down the calf. And then we're going to bend that right knee, bringing that right leg back in. Now we're going to take both hands over to that right knee. We're going to point that left toe, extending it out long now. Letting it just hover above the mat as we draw that right knee in. Feeling that extension, lengthening that left leg. Pushing all the energy out of that toe. The breath is deep. Just some gentle stretching here, no big changes, no big movements. Stretching and lengthening the muscles. Now we're going to flex that left foot and push that left heel straight up towards the ceiling. Now if we need to take that left hand behind that leg, feel free to do so to stabilize the muscles in that hamstring. If you need to bend that knee a little bit, feel free to do that as well. Always a stretch, never a strain. So if you need to bend that knee, drawing it in just a little bit, then that's perfectly fine. Always staying within our range of motion. This practice is all about relieving stress. We don't want to build up any tension in those muscles here. Now we're going to bend that left leg. We're going to draw those knees tightly back into the chest. One big squeeze on those knees. And then we're going to take that right hand to the inner sole of that right foot, that left hand to the inner sole of that left foot. We're going to push those heels up towards the ceiling as we draw those toes back. We're going to find that happy baby here. Maybe we find that sway here again. Drawing those knees down to the mat. Finding that movement here, whatever feels good for us. Maybe that rock feels good. Maybe you bend one leg in and then straightening the opposite back out. Whatever feels good for you here, whatever relieves that tension, whatever relieves that stress in the body. But just finding that sway or that movement. We feel that breath begin to slow, that breath begins to deepen. As we just work our way down to the mat, we work down towards that time of rest. That time of meditation. Now we're going to take those hands down to those ankles. Then we're going to take the soles of the feet. We're going to bring them together, opening through those knees once again. So those elbows should be pressed into those knees, bringing the soles of the feet together. Opening through those hips for just a few more breaths. And then we're going to take those feet, we're going to release them down to the mat. We're going to find that reclining butterfly here. So we're going to take those hands, we're going to rest them palms up on the mat. If you need to take those hands behind the legs to relieve some pressure, or if you need to even take a pillow, placing it under each knee, relieving pressure off those legs, whatever feels good for you here. But we're just going to let those hands fall to the side, those palms are open up wide. We're going to deepen that breath. We're going to close those eyes here. We're just going to push the world away. We push all the busyness away. And we simply focus on ourselves in this moment. This time is intentional. This time is personal. It is individual for you and your practice. Whether you use this time to pray, to meditate, to think through some things, to find that peace, to find that rest. Whatever feels good for you here, whatever serves you, whatever serves your body. But we just close those eyes. We stretch through those inner thighs for just a moment here, opening up through those hips. Taking just a few more breaths. Deepening that stress. We hold so much tension, so much pressure in the hips. We're just letting that go here. Letting it all go. Now we take that deep inhale through the nose, breathing in all the air. And then on that exhale, we're just going to lift those legs. We're going to remove those pillows if we had them there. We're going to take a few moments just to wiggle around, just to get comfortable. We're going to extend those legs out long. We're just going to take those hands, we're going to place them either on the abdomen or just down by our sides here. Wiggle around, get comfortable. If you need a blanket, you can grab a blanket to cover yourself up with or to lay on your abdomen. Maybe laying it across that core, pressing you deep into this Shavasana time. But just be intentional here, get comfortable. We've already moved our bodies, we've used our breath. Now we're just going to take a few moments just to turn inward. This is sometimes where the most difficult work is done. Quieting our minds, quieting our spirit, and just allowing ourselves to rest. Allowing ourselves to relax. We don't empty our minds here. We never open ourselves up to anything. But we just become very intentional with our thoughts. We become very purposeful with our thoughts. We know what we allow in and we know what we let go of. And we just start to quiet down. Embracing that breath. Feeling the rise and the fall of every inhale and every exhale as that air enters the lungs and then as it escapes. We just simply rest in this moment in gratitude, being thankful for each and every breath. Thankful for each and every breath as it is a gift. It is such a blessing. Thankful for the ability to move our bodies, to have that mobility. You got on your mat today. You moved your body. You found that stillness. Be so thankful for yourself. Working on ourselves each and every day to just be a little bit better than we were yesterday. Sowing into ourselves, showing ourselves that love and that gratitude. As we just breathe here. That breath becomes deeper and deeper. Feel the rise and the fall of the chest. Then we start to notice that rhythm. The rhythm in between the inhales and the exhales. The pattern of the breath. It comes like waves to the shore. We feel that breath washing over us. We feel that rhythm. Maybe you even visualize the waves on the shore here. As you breathe, you hear the waves crashing upon the sand. Or maybe in that breath you begin to feel a breeze. A slight breeze as it blows through the branches of the tree or the flowers in a field. But just start to visualize something along with that breath. Something that matches the rhythm of the inhales and the exhales. Whether that be the breeze or the waves. But we visualize that breath. We embrace that breath. As it continues to wash over us. As those waves continue to wash over us. As that breeze continues to wash over us. And along with that breeze, along with those waves, that peace begins to wash over us. We just allow ourselves to rest here. We rest in that peace. We rest in this moment. Continue to visualize that breath as it washes over us. As it presses us deeper and deeper into the mat. We find that peace, that peaceful place. Our spirit begins to find that rest. We are not meant to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. We are not meant to hold on to everything. We need that release. The world is not your burden to bear. You need that release. We do what we can, and then everything else we must release. The things that we cannot control. We are not meant for stress. We are not meant for worry. We are not meant to be full of anxiousness and overwhelming thoughts. Those are things that we have picked up. And those are things that we must lay down. Things that we must release. Every day we do the best that we can do. We do everything to the best of our ability. And that is all that we can do. We have to let things go. What is it that you need to let go? What is it that is bringing that stress into your life? Bringing that worry into your spirit? those overwhelming thoughts into your mind. What is it that you need to release? What is it that you need to lay down here and now? What is it that you need to let go of? What is it that needs to be carried away with that breeze or washed away from the shore, the waves? What is it that needs to be released? Visualize that thing, bring it clearly into your mind. Holding it in your hand out in front of you. You see it, you see those words, you see that picture. Now on this next exhale, we're going to take that thing, that thought, that word, whatever it is, and we're going to lift our hand to the breeze or place our hand in the water and allow it to drift away. Allow it to be carried away. We allow ourselves to find that peace. We speak that peace over ourselves. Whatever we speak becomes our reality. And we claim that peace. We let those things go. They were never meant for us. They were never meant to be ours. We find that rest here. We feel heavy and we feel pressed in. We find that rest and we find that peace. And we carry that peace with us throughout the day. Holding on to that peace because we have released the worry. We have released the anxiousness, the stress. And we hold tightly onto that peace. Holding tightly onto that rest. As we continue forward with our day and with our week. Waves begin to move farther and farther from the shore, and the breeze begins to die down. That thing that we have released is no longer in sight. It is far out of our vision, out of our memory. And we bring that life back into our bodies. We start to wiggle those toes, we begin to wiggle those fingers. And we feel that breath begin to change. Removing that blanket from the body. And we start to roll ourselves up, very slowly, taking our time. As we come back into that seated position, we cross those legs. Now we take those hands down to the knees. We roll that head all the way around, one big circle, whichever direction we choose. And then we change that direction, moving all the way around. Bringing that head back upright, we're going to inhale as those shoulders go up. We exhale as they drop back. We take the hands down to the side. We inhale as those hands lift. We exhale as we bring those thumbs down into the chest. We're going to drop that head down. We're going to close those eyes. I I hope that you've been blessed during this practice. I hope that you let those things go and that you never pick them back up. I hope that you find that peace and you find that rest because you deserve it. I pray that you have a beautiful and blessed day. Thank you for joining me today.